Welcome to the Inner Compass podcast show. I am your host, Jack Sonogo, and thank you for joining us on this episode of the Inner Compass podcast show. In this episode, we will be discussing owning and embracing your presence. What does it mean to truly embrace who you are right now without judgment? In what ways do you avoid or resist your authentic self? What does it look like to honor your needs and emotions without shame or guilt? And finally, how can you celebrate your uniqueness and stop comparing yourself to others? Before we dive in, it's important for us to distinguish the difference between recognizing the moment and embracing your presence. Recognizing the moment, which we discussed in our last episode, and embracing your presence are closely related in concept, but they focus on different aspects of mindfulness and engaging with the present. In mindfulness, both concepts involve being aware and present in the current moment. You recognize the moment when the experience requires you to be mindful. At the same time, being fully conscious and engaging with your experience is you embracing your presence. The major difference between the two concepts lies in the pendulum of external impacts versus internal change. Recognizing the moment leads to understanding and appreciating the current environment and interactions, but it doesn't result in deep self-change. Embracing your presence leads to a deeper internal shift. How you interact with the world and how others perceive you has a much more profound effect when you embrace your authentic self. All in all, recognizing the moment and embracing your presence are two sides of the same coin. That is, to be aware of what's going on around you in the present and stepping into and embracing your authentic self in that moment. One focuses more on observation and the other on active engagement with your being. Now that we distinguish the difference between the two concepts and the juices are flowing, every so often I like to ask myself, what does it mean to fully accept yourself without critique, reflection, or wishing for something different? Truly embracing who you are right now without judgment means accepting yourself as you are and letting go of self-criticism, external expectations, and instead allowing yourself to experience who you are with compassion, understanding, and kindness. To begin embracing ourselves, we need to start by accepting our current self, which is acknowledging your feelings, flaws, strengths, and weaknesses without trying to change them immediately. You accept your imperfections, struggles, and mistakes as part of who you are right now. You stop wishing you were somewhere else emotionally or mentally and instead honor where you are in your life's journey, whether you're feeling confident, uncertain, happy, or vulnerable. When you accept your current self, you cultivate a level of mindfulness that plays a huge role in letting go of criticism and comparison and letting go of past and future concerns. In addition to acknowledging our feelings and struggles, we must embrace our full humanity by practicing self-compassion. We treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend or loved one. We are gentle with ourselves when things don't go perfect, and we offer encouragement during difficult times. Also, try recognizing your own growth potential. Embracing who you are right now doesn't mean you've given up on self-growth or improvement. When you recognize that growth is a continuous process, you strive to evolve and become a better version of yourself without skipping steps in the process. In essence, to truly embrace who you are right now without judgment is to love yourself unconditionally. You learn to fully acknowledge your presence as a complete and valuable individual in this moment, flaws, strengths, and all. Another question I like to ask myself is whether our internal barriers restrain us from being our present authentic self. What internal barriers have we placed on ourselves to restrict present day growth? The barriers that we place on ourselves come in many forms and is unique to that individual, but often they stem from our past experiences, societal pressures, and self doubt. These barriers keep us from fully accepting and expressing who we are. We are the makeup of our past experiences, and our past experiences shape how we view ourselves and the world around us. Emotional and psychological scars can make it difficult to trust ourselves or feel comfortable showing up authentically because we fear that being ourselves might lead to more pain or rejection. The emotional pain from past experiences can create defense mechanisms like shutting down parts of our identity to protect ourselves from further harm. Growing up in the inner city of New York, I spent 5 summer breaks learning chess, a passion that my friends didn't understand or appreciate at the time. Chess wasn't considered cool, and I was often taunted for it. I pushed the game aside for a while, hiding my interest to avoid the teasing, but in my junior year of high school, I discovered the school had a chess club, and something sparked within me. I decided to give it another shot, and this time I embraced who I was. I went on to beat 9 out of 10 players on the team, faced off against the top player, and even made it to the state competition. Through it all, I learned that staying true to myself and persevering in the face of judgment could lead to something greater than I ever imagined. Another barrier that limits us from being our true selves is a comparison game, or the tendency to constantly compare oneself to others. This habit can make people focus on what they lack or what others have rather than appreciating their own unique qualities, progress, and achievements. The origin of the comparison game often begins early in life and can be shaped by a variety of factors such as family dynamics, school and peer influences, media, cultural expectations, perfectionism, and many more factors. Over time, it becomes ingrained and can take root in various aspects of one's life, particularly in a world where external achievements and perceptions are often emphasized. It's important to constantly remind yourself that everyone's journey is different, and true fulfillment comes from focusing on your own path rather than constantly measuring yourself against others. Breaking free from the comparison game requires a shift in mindset and conscious effort to focus on personal growth and self acceptance. Here's a few solves to help you stop playing the comparison game. Number one, practice gratitude, self compassion, and mindfulness. Number two, focus on self improvement. Number three, accept and embrace your uniqueness. Number four, redefine success. Number five, focus on the process and not the outcome. Number six, surround yourself with positive influences. Number seven, limit social media exposure. And number eight, seek professional help if needed. One way to celebrate your uniqueness and to help you stop comparing yourself to others is an interactive game called the Self-Acknowledgment Game. After this podcast episode, take about 20 to 30 minutes to try the steps below and take note of how you feel before and after you try the self-acknowledgement game. Step 1. Start with gratitude. Take a moment to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Focus on what you're grateful for in your life right now. Step 2. Acknowledge your strengths. Out loud or in your mind, say 3 things you're proud of about yourself. Step 3. Compliment yourself. Think of a recent achievement or effort you've made, no matter how small, and give yourself a compliment for it. Acknowledge the effort you put in and not just the outcome. Step 4. The mirror moment. Look at yourself in the mirror and say something kind about yourself. Step 5. The present check-in. Take a moment to focus on the present, your senses, and what's happening around you. Step 6. The no comparison challenge. For a set amount of time, 10 minutes, an hour, or the rest of the day, Challenge yourself not to compare yourself to anyone else. Whenever a thought of comparison pops up, remind yourself, I am on my own unique path and I am enough. The final step, step 7 to the self acknowledgement game, is to end with affirmations. We finish by repeating a series of positive affirmations out loud, such as, I am worthy of love and acceptance, I am enough just as I am, or I embrace my uniqueness and celebrate my growth. The purpose of the self acknowledgement game is to help you reframe how you see yourself. It's an ongoing practice of embracing the present and building your own sense of self worth without needing validation from outside sources. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. As we wrap up today's episode, we learned that embracing your presence is about accepting yourself as you are without judgment or comparison. It's about honoring your needs, emotions, and uniqueness and learning to celebrate your authentic self. Throughout this episode, we've explored the challenge that comes with fully owning who you are, but we also discuss powerful ways to overcome self-doubt and comparison. By shifting your mindset, practicing self-compassion, and learning to honor your journey, you can cultivate a deep sense of self-acceptance. Remember, embracing your presence isn't about perfection. It's about being unapologetically and authentically you. On our next episode, we will discuss living with purpose and intention, aligning your actions, thoughts, and decisions with your deepest values and goals. Thank you for joining us on episode 2 of the Inner Compass podcast show. Until next time, my friends, embrace your presence. Thank you.